How's it going, guys? Thank you guys so much for joining me today. You already know I'm the real I am. Oh yeah, I got my cousin here with me. Very thankful. Just real quick, this brother's been on his journey for a very long time. He's been telling me this, before I even hit, in my late 20s. So this brother has a lot of knowledge. And so what we're going to talk about today is the difference between religion and spirituality. So cuz, first tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us your preference of the difference of religion and spirituality.
I was born Eddie Alonzo Swain. Within my spiritual path, I became Uncle Lonny. That's A-N-K-L. That's A-N-K-H-L-E. Lonny, you feel me? And the Unk is the symbol of life, boy.
Yes, it is.
And the way I came into this, like I said, I was born into the church. You feel me? I was born into Christianity, but my whole thing was, they say people who are special or the ones who are the real seeds, we born knowing something ain't right. So I always question the belief that was given to me, not what I was inherited, or not what I was what I was supposed to be rightfully given to. I was just given something, But anyway, like I'm saying, I went through that phase of religion, and after I got out of that, I thought the black man's religion was Islam. So I went through Islam for a minute, doing the prayers, all that type of things, teaching my son the prayers of, Islam, and reading the Quran and all that type of stuff. I got deep into the Quran for a cool minute, up until I found out the Middle Easterns use Islam to enslave Africans and other darker melanated people. So, the truth cannot be spread by violence. Truth is never spread by violence. Only lies are spread by violence. So the way I ended up coming into this was just constantly questioning myself and questioning everything around me.
Right. Constantly
questioning myself and questioning everything the fuck around me. And when I finally came to this, it was on 47th. It was on 47th and West Street. Shout out to my Conrad Wayusi, bro. I love you, bro. My nigga Black Wayusi, bro. Cause you the nigga who put me on, bro.
Right.
When I was young, bro. You was the nigga who put me on, bro. So that's a little bit about me. It's just, I was born into Christianity, moved into Islam, and I found my path just fucking with real niggas, bro. Fucking with real niggas, bro.
So can you break it down for us? What would you say your definition, your difference of religion and spirituality? Like, what's the difference?
If I was to break it down, I would say religion teaches you to go outwards and to look outwards and to rely on something other than yourself. Spirituality teaches you to go inward and rely on yourself, because you're born by yourself and you will die by yourself. This is about you, and it's about your journey.
It's your story, right?
It is your story, and you are the main character in your story.
So please let's talk about that for a little bit. When you say the difference between going within from going without, now I know, I know that I know,
right.
But what happens, can you say that someone can say with them looking outside of them, they have that same peace, or they have that same joy that they would get, that we're saying that you could get within?
No.
Okay.
You cannot do that, because once you're going outside of yourself, you're not in sync with yourself. So you cannot be happy to the fullest potential. You cannot be satisfied to the fullest potential, because you are not operating by your accord. You're operating by something that was forced on you, if
Right.
you're going to be honest.
Right.
So operating like that, you will never know your true potential. You
Right.
will never know it.
And I could definitely agree, because before I started just believing in myself through real estate, I was confused. I didn't know. Now, I'm a husband, I'm a father, but I'm also a leader. So, I always had questions through my religion. I'm not going to get into those specifics, but I completely agree with you, because just through my religion, it was like the more I dug into my religion was the more questions I had, and then, you start just digging deeper. And then, like I said, I went from Christianity into, the Hebrew Israelites. And then it was like, but you just keep peeling back these layers. You just keep digging, and you just realize, like, wait, man, it's me that's digging this information. It's me that's getting better. It's me that's trying to continuously grow. And then also when you just pray, man, like, you sit there and you close your eyes and you be sitting there like, if you really think about it, I'm just talking to myself.
I ain't gonna lie. One thing Bobby Hemmett, shout out you know, that's one of my unofficial teachers.
Right.
Unofficial teachers. But one thing Bobby Hemmett said was, praying is like putting in a phone call to your own ass.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Literally.
what he said. Praying is like putting in a phone call to your own ass.
No, right.
You gotta meditate. Meditate. Know who you are. Manifest them thoughts, boy.
Right.
Manifest that positivity.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you.
Right. Because I mean, and that's pretty much what I was getting at is the moment that I start relying on myself and start relying on my own perception was when I wasn't confused, when I was no longer just lost. I felt like I got it. It's up to me. In order for me to be happy, in order for me to make sure that I'm providing and doing what I can for my kids, it's up to me. Take care of me first. Believe in me first. Then
you can't be a leader unless you believe in yourself.
Right.
But if a religion is telling you to believe into the next person, how are you going to develop you? How are you going to develop you if you try to follow what the next person is telling you to do? So you can never achieve your fullest potential being told to follow the next person's footsteps. Whether it's imaginary or physical. I feel like, me personally, like I said before, if you do fall into that mindset of thinking like that, then that just means to me that you are self-defeated and you no longer have a sense of self.
don't be a victim.
Yeah, don't be a victim, because you wonder why they put liquor stores in churches in these black neighborhoods, bro. It's to fuck with your self-esteem.
And you know what's funny? I love that you make that point, because I've always said, how is it that, because when you get into real estate, you start understanding the definition and everything of redlining.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing that always tripped me out. How is it that I grew up in West Oakland, Lord Bottom, you know, if you grew up there, you know what that was. And so before all the gentrification and everything happened, I used to always wonder, it's like, wait, how is we're not allowed to have any type of economic growth here, but we can have a church here. But we can have all these liquor stores here. But if someone was to say, okay, I want to open up a business, but I want it here, they won't give you a loan for that business. They say, no, this area is actually red line. You cannot have a business here, but we could definitely have a church. We could have a liquor store that pumps cigarettes and that pumps all this stuff into our community.
Which keeps you at a lower frequency.
That's all it is. Look,
that lower frequency makes
preach.
it easier for you to be controlled.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That makes you more easy to fall into the line of servitude.
Preach.
Worship.
Preach.
If you keep lowering your frequency, that's what you fall into.
Preach.
And the sad thing is, when you're growing up in cities like, you know, Oakland and the Bay and stuff like that, Richmond and shit like that, when you're experiencing a lot of trauma, you start to doubt yourself if you don't have either yourself or somebody else to remind you how strong and powerful and unique you are.
Let's talk about it.
You're going to lose sight of who the fuck you are. And when you lose sight of who the fuck you are, you need to follow somebody else. Like me personally, I'll say this. It's hard for me to respect a man who teaches his family to follow another man. It's hard for me to respect a man whose foundation of his family is following another man. I can't respect that.
That's why I stopped giving credit to Santa Claus. I'm like, there's no way I'm working my ass off all year, and I gotta give credit to this dude.
You the man of the house, but you as the man of the house is telling the house to follow another man.
Right.
How are you a leader?
Let's talk about that for a second, because that's one thing when it comes to religion that you don't tap into. Because when you tap into yourself, you tap into who you are, which is energy, which is frequency, which is vibration. You miss all that shit. Because what you gotta understand is that's all you have is your energy. You get what you put out there. So what you gotta understand is how to use that. But through religion, you don't get that.
Not at all.
And one thing, man, that spoke to me was this dude said this thing, man, I thought was very clever. And it wasn't that smart. He says, there's many religions. There's many different forms of religion that you can be a part of. But there's only one spirituality.
Fact.
Because there's only one God. And let me tell you this, God ain't make none of this shit. All this shit is just man-made. But once you understand that God is way more clever than what we allowed these man-made things to be limitless and a limitation on our God.
That's a deeper conversation.
Right, it is. But we talking about it, religion versus spirituality.
We can say the true God did not make this, but the God that you know might have made this. The God that you know really is the same energy that's trying to keep you enslaved.
Right.
So we can say like this demiurge, and this demiurge is also known as like Yalabroth or Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Say that again, Yahweh. A lot of you niggas believe in Yahweh, not knowing that Yahweh is actually the one who created the 12 archons, which is the 12 zodiacs that we all like to blame our behavior on and like try to make excuses for why we act the way we act because of our zodiac sign and shit like that. That was that demiurge shit. So if you don't know what a demiurge is, and you know what these 12 archons is, then you ought to, you know what I'm saying, you got to catch up a little bit, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, yeah, this shit, as far as the God that we was taught to believe in, the God that we was taught to worship, that bastard God, made this matrix. Because they say that God, the one that we say is a him, came from the mother. That's what they say, that the mother had a bastard child. It had a mutated child, and this mutated child was so dysfunctional that it had an ego problem. So it created this reality that we live in right now, this three-dimensional realm that we live in right now. And this Yahweh or this demiurge right now is the one that you think you crediting Jesus with, you crediting God with, Allah with, all that shit. You crediting this demiurge energy to. So you really worshiping your oppressor. On a spiritual level.
I'm just gonna make this point because I before we go, I do want to get into what energy and frequency it is and how it works. Just before we go, but I do want to say this. You want to know how I know God is a woman?
Talk to me.
So
Talk to me.
You know, right? If I have sex with my wife and I don't use no form of protection, it's a good possibility that a baby will come, right? Right. Go outside and put a seed in the ground. Go put a seed in the ground. What comes out of that seed?
The motherfucking plant.
Life.
Right. I like that even better. Yep. I like
it's that simple. Like don't fucking confuse yourself. But what I really gotta talk to you guys about, because our time is almost up, but this energy and frequency shit. Anger, frustration, doubt, judgment, pettiness. Those are all low forms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And they feed off that shit. We're not gonna get into who they are. Just know, motherfucker, they eating good for years. So enlightenment, happiness, joy, peace, respect. Those are all high vibrational frequencies, energies, and vibrations. Be that.
Say, if you even look at, because you know they put a lot of truth in like cartoons, children movies, and like
Soul is the best one right now.
They put a lot of truth in science fiction. It's a lot of truth in that. So one thing that they say, like, okay, I was just watching Justice League, the new Justice League shit.
Yeah.
And one thing that Steppenwolf said to me that resonates in the real world, he said he went to the Amazons, where, you know, that's where Wonder Woman and them from. He went to the Amazons and he just killed that shit. But one thing he said before he started beginning his destruction, he said, I'm going to bathe in your fear. And that's what that demiurge is. The demiurge energy bathes in your fear. It bathes in your doubt.
What is fear, cuz? False evidence.
Yeah, appearing real.
Appearing real.
Get on with that shit. False evidence appearing real. That's fear.
That's all it is, man. Because look, man, God is love.
What's up, baby? I see you.
God is the purest form of love. So if you die and we all go back to God, what the fuck you think you're going back to? Love. So don't be afraid. Don't be fearful, man. Go out there, be you, be strong. All you have is you, bruh. All you have is you and the little motherfuckers you bring out here, man. So don't be afraid. Believe in yourself.
Facts. Believe in yourself.
Because let me tell you this, man. Whether you believe or whether you don't, you get. Regardless, motherfucker, you get. I don't mean to cuss. It's just my passion. It's my spirit that's just 100% real. And it just lets you know that I'm not bullshitting when I say it's up to you. And you is all you have.
Because like you said, your brain is a transmitter.
Of energy, frequency, and vibration.
So if you're transmitting only negative things, that is what you're going to attract. And that's one thing, that's easier said than done. Understand, I empathize with anybody going through any form of depression or some type of confusion. I get it. It's very easy to think negatively as opposed to thinking positively. But that's when you gotta like strap your boots and
you gotta realize
let your shoes up.
It's a subconscious habit. What you gotta realize is we run off 95% of subconscious. So you automatically think negative. You automatically judge. And that's okay, because what you can always do is flip that. So what we saying, man, is you gotta completely unlearn every motherfucking thing that you've been taught, and you, hey, it's lit, it's lit. And you relearn through your own perception. Like I said, man, my cousin has been, before we go, I just gotta say this, my cousin has been putting me on and been telling me this shit for years.
Shout out Simba, boy. I see you.
My cousin has been telling me this shit for years, and it took me to experience meditating, believing in myself, growing my real estate business to tap in. Basically, he had the knowledge and I had the experience.
There we go.
And I said,
there we go.
I said, nigga, you right. I said, there's a power in us that's, nigga, we sleep in a motherfucker. You see my skin? I'm vegetarian. I'm just saying, I'm glowing right now. I'm glowing right now. But I just gotta say, man, it's a beautiful thing. Believe in yourself, love the people around you, because that's all you get.
And keep putting positive energy in there.
Every day.
Stay putting positive energy in there. You feel me?
Yeah.
Put positive energy in there.
That was a great conversation.
Hell yeah.
But man, thank you guys. You know, I am the real I am. This is the Temple of You with my cousin Sincere.
Yes. Swing guys, nigga. This swing guys, right? We the guys in the building. When the guys come around, nigga, walls crumble, boy.
G.O.D.
Understand that shit.
All you got, man.
Straight tight and shit. And
y'all take it easy.
I'm sign out on this joint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Take it easy.